So, if you've got questions as I go through now, please feel free to stick a mitt up into the air. If there's something that you want to ask as I go through this, and I will try to leave a few moments at the end for some questions, okay? But what can we do about it? I think this is the big question, isn't it? If we've got these thoughts, what can we do about them? The first thing is do what you've started to do. Connected, cathartic, having that piece of collaborative conversations. But talk about it with someone who is going to listen. Because I am sure some of you may have already spoken about these feelings to someone who's gone, "What, you? But you're amazing at what you do. I've got every faith in you. You're fantastic. You're doing a great job. I've got no worries." Makes it worse, okay? Doesn't help, makes it worse. So if you're using the stop, start, think about, carry-ons, then put stop telling people they are amazing, okay? Don't do it. Seriously, do not do it. It is not a good thing. By all means, tell them why you think they're amazing, but don't tell them they're amazing. My first academic supervisor, she lasted for the first 2 years, and then she actually left Anglia Ruskin. It wasn't me, I promise. But she left the university that I was studying at and went elsewhere. So, but she ran a workshop that I had to attend on academic writing. And she said, "Oh, I've got no worries about you, Kate. You'll be absolutely fine. I'm studying the imposter phenomenon for personal reasons as well as professional. Do you not realise this?" And it's really interesting having that. You know, you'll be fine. It's like, I don't think so. But I couldn't tell her. And you might find that you're managing people like that. They produce very good work. You have every faith in them, but they might not have the faith in themselves. We will come on to what you can do about that. But if you're speaking to someone, find someone who is going to listen. And if you are in that privileged position of someone speaking to you, then be the listener. Because these feelings run deep for many people. It's not a trivial experience. For some, it is a little bit of a light touch and they can push through. But you saw that 62% who've been held back by it at some point in time. You know, that's a lot of people. That is not trivial. And for some people, it is high levels of anxiety. I think it's at least 5 of my participants had been to therapy to talk about their imposter feelings. You know, it's got that severe for some people. So if you're in that privileged position of listening, could you do something? Could you ask them, where do they think it comes from? Ask them when they experience it. Ask them what the triggers are for it. Ask them what evidence do they have that supports their feelings. And then crucially, note the order of this, ask them what evidence do they have that contradicts their feelings. So ask people questions. Talk about the mask. Listen to others. We think we're wearing that mask to the outside world, but we are not. That's an interesting contradiction with a 15 I've got up here. So it's like, hey, let's go for 10, shall we? See how we go. We'll go somewhere in the middle. When you're listening to conversations with people, we have I've just got lucky. We have they're just being kind. We have, in the first case of my academic essay, the first one I ever wrote getting a distinction. So they must have made a mistake, but I didn't dare ask the university to remark it. So we think sometimes that it's luck that helps us get where we are. Sometimes we think it's hard work that helps us get where we are. And we have it's because I've worked really hard. I'm just doing my job. Anybody ever said that? Take out the just. Okay, take out the just. Oh, if I'm doing it, anyone can. Not anyone. Lots of others could. I'm not going to deny that. But you are the one who is. So it's not luck. It's not hard work. They contribute to success, but so do knowledge, skills, and abilities. And we often forget that. Please don't. And then there's this final phrase that comes, yeah, but I could have even done it better. You know, my thesis, if I didn't have the deadline of a 6-year deadline in mid-February, it wouldn't have been submitted, it wouldn't have got done, because I could have still done it better. I could have still improved. Didn't need to improve, though. That's the thing. And sometimes we overwork things and actually end up with a detrimental output from the overwork. So this is where, if you want to get your phones out, do a quick bit of interaction with phones, because we've got QR codes coming up. Note and review your positive feedback. Okay, so question on, when you receive positive feedback, do you keep it somewhere? Here's your QR code. You've got a yes/no question on the Menti polls. Please submit your answers. I am, of course, making a very big assumption that you're getting positive feedback. And actually, some people say, Kate, I don't get any. And it's like, bless. As managers, if you are managing people, which I'm sure many of you in the room are, please give more positive feedback to people. We're so keen to pick up things that don't go well. Give more, give more. So we've got, it's still going up. We've got a number of folks still coming through. So I'm going to need to, because I've had a 10-minute already, I haven't quite got to the 5, it says 13 on here. Look at how many they're not keeping it. No's are more than the yeses. So you have a start in your start box. Start to keep my positive feedback somewhere. Smile file, brag file, wonderful me file, mine's simply called feedback. Call it what you like, I don't mind, but keep it somewhere. Second question, for those who were in the yes camp feeling nice and smug, could you please answer this question now? If you were in the yes camp, you keep it, have you looked at it recently? Okay, here we go. There's a start Menti box. Could somebody click that for me, please? Thank you. Okay, have you looked at it recently? This is what I love seeing. It's like, I keep it. Don't look at it, Kate. Why not? Why not? Now, and those who are saying, yes, I've looked at it, as that one's going up, maybe, and I'm going to guess here, it might be that you had a little bit of a confidence wobble and you gave yourself a little bit of a boost. It was situational specific. That's fine. That's all fine and dandy. It might be that you had an appraisal coming up and you needed to do that, or it might be that you were applying for another job and you wanted to look at it. Generally speaking, it's not for the reason I'm going to suggest that you look at it. So everybody now has another start. Look at it frequently. Frequently, I mean once a week, once a fortnight, maybe once a month, but please look at it. And when you look at it and reread that positive feedback, could you yes and it? And it doesn't mean, yes and, aren't I wonderful? Woohoo, they're really nice things people are saying about me. It's not that, okay? You're actually looking to internalize the feedback, because what happens with imposter feelings, we get this positive feedback, it can feel so uncomfortable to get it that we don't ever look at it again. And now I'm telling you, you've got to look at it. So you're bringing it up and going, they say that about me? Oh, yes, and I learnt that from that particular situation. Yes, and I can see that my skills increased. Or yes, and there's a common thread coming through in the feedback, which means that it's a strength of mine. So you're yes anding the feedback on the inside to internalize it. Because what we do with the imposter feelings, we're very good at filtering out all of the positive stuff that doesn't meet with our self-perception. So we need to counteract the self-perception with the external evidence. The key thing here is that external evidence says that you are better than you think you are. The external evidence is telling you that.